What's up, boomers, zoomers, and tubers? This is Smashcenter, episode 40, brought to you by PG Stats, Suar, Panda Global, the whole bit. This is your source for your latest in Smash tournament coverage, controversies, and more. We're going to have Coney joining us in a second, but first, as always, if this is your first time viewing on YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button so you get the latest in Smash Ultimate news. Otherwise, you're in the chat right now and you're getting ready to roast us at the end with the Q&A, which will probably be very spicy, considering the fact that it's just Tuesday and Twitter already went down for Smash on Monday and part of Sunday, as you probably already saw. In any case, my name is Suar. Welcome. This is the show. This is it. You're now at your final destination and your only non-stop destination here. We got a lot to cover, believe it or not, despite it being only just a week since we last saw each other. We had Big House this past weekend and the UFA event that happened in Paris. We're going to talk about both. Coney's going to join us in a second. But one thing we do want to stress is if you are in the chat, again, that Q&A that happens at the end, hold your questions until then, because if you ask them now, we're not going to be able to see them. We're just going to blaze past them. So Smashcenter 40, we're here. We're going to bring Coney on now, actually, so we can take a look at this past weekend. He was actually at one of those events, so Coney has that insider knowledge, those insider tips, and he joins us now. So what's up, Coney? Talk to us.
Hey, everybody. How's it going? Welcome to the show. Sorry it is so late. It is because yesterday we couldn't do it, and then today I had my wife and I are going to birthing classes, which, like, prepare you for, giving birth for the first time. And because my wife's pregnant. Yeah, and so the miracle of birth. So we go for 2 hours every Tuesday. So got back at 9:15, got some food quick, and now ready to do the show because the grind doesn't stop. I sacrifice so much for you people, and we'll get into that in a little bit. How much I'm owed, how much I deserve by being here.
Well, the baby matchup, you're learning that one, so kudos to you.
Thank you.
In any case, let's just jump directly into it. The show tonight is planned mostly around, of course, cash money, the root of all evil. But before that, we're going to go over this past weekend in terms of results. The PGRU is still a thing. We're in season 2. Of course, it's happening. And a lot is actually flipped on its head after this past weekend, and we're going to dive into that now. So, UFA was a tournament that happened in Grand Paris, France. And it was a little bit of the normal departure from, I guess, like North American and Japan Smash news. This time we actually had Leo travel all the way to Europe and compete. So we saw a couple people. We saw Glutoni. They were obviously in grand finals, as you probably heard, saw the Twitch clips. As far as this tournament goes, though, pretty well attended. 490 entrants actually did hit the A-tier mark. And we had MK Leo, Glutoni, Space actually come out as an inkling that MK Leo, did you see his tweet about that, Coney?
Yes. Yeah. Space.
Yes. Being the best in the world.
Yeah, I was watching that closely because I think everybody on the show knows my thoughts on Inkling. I think they're very good, but I think they're kind of a meme. I think it's like bottom of top tier, top of high tier. I think they're very good, but they need to be played in a certain way that is sort of unsustainable to like win 9 sets in a row at a tournament or win 12 if you're going into losers. They're just like the way the tournaments are run. I don't know if it's possible. I think they're very hard, but Space was able to do it even against some of the best in the world. Beat Kameme in a set, beat Glutoni. I think he ended up losing to Glutoni later, but yeah, kid's definitely the truth.
Yeah, currently the only other person aside from Cosmos being the only PGR Inkling in the world. Space, who knows, might join him. I don't know. It's just a 3rd tier and an A tier. Just get out of my mentions. Anyways, Kamame, 4th. The man is doing well. He has now just only been doing well. I think he has usurped. I don't know if he's definitely not the most popular Japanese player right now, but he is definitely top 3. Where I would originally have placed Abadango when thinking about early Smash 4. Abadango, I think, right now, IMO is a huge threat. However, the consistency factor is now starting to form later in the season as opposed to earlier, compared to Kamame, who's just been obnoxiously good, right? So props to him. That's a 4th. Mr. R at 5th, currently not the leader of Europe. That is going to go to Glutoni. I don't even think that's up to any sort of discretion. Mr. R, of course, leading with the Netherlands back in Smash 4. Now we're in Ultimate. We're pretty much a year in come December, and Glutoni has just done it all with Wario.
Yeah.
But in 5th tide, we had Hamika coming us to from... That flag is from France. Yes. Hamika I've never heard of. Rosalina. True 4 and Quick. Quick I did hear of. He did bring a Samus as well as a Zero Suit. Quick also playing Zero Suit in Smash 4. So no surprises there. Zero Suit undoubtedly a strong character. Don't believe Mars.
Yeah.
Don't believe the propaganda. And we also had some familiar names tying for 9th and 13th. We had I Studying. Very popular. Yeah, Greninja from the Netherlands. Greninja still from Smash 4. Alaxio as well from France. Greninja. Meru bringing us a Peach from the Netherlands. And Flo bringing us a Roy and a Chrom. The rest I am not too familiar with, aside from S1 coming to us from the Netherlands. 17th this tournament. And apart from that, I'm not seeing too many. Oh, Vic. Yeah, Beefy Smash Dude. So he brought a Wolf to 25th. Yeah. Pretty great victory overall in terms of event making. An A tier for Europe is something that all Europeans probably want more of. Still haven't hit that S tier, I don't believe. Albion was an S tier. That was so long ago. Albion ended the first season of the craziness. So I think Albion did hit S. Or it was a high A. I don't even remember. But in any case, like, it's not common for Europe. So props to them. Many different countries. I'm looking at these flags here. This looks like a bingo board for the UN. I'm seeing Mexico, obviously, at the top, followed by France. We have Japan. We have Netherlands. We also have Germany. We also have Spain. We also have Finland. Wow. Someone coming to us from Israel. Holy. Switzerland. Yeah, this is a model UN club over here at UFA. So props to MK Leo. For anybody wondering, he made 3,440 euros, which in American money, Google tells me, is about 3,771. Keep that in mind, because now we're going to talk about Big House. So Big House, Coney was that, so he's going to give us a lot of insight. He has the inside scoop. He also commentated a grand majority of the sets that pretty much punctuated the event. Yeah. Going into grand finals, though, do you want to paint a picture? Or do you want to paint a picture for top 8? I don't know how you want to start it, because so much happened.
Yeah, I mean, so what I thought was the most interesting going into grand finals is we all know that there are 2 summit spots on the line, and a lot of the people that were in the top 8 were already in summit. And it's mostly filled with names you would expect, a lot of the top 10 that are always in there, which is, Nairo, Samsora, DeBuzz. But it's also missing some names. Mars isn't in it. There are a few others that dropped out. Light missed it. But then you also have some names like Arfang, who recently made Summit by voting. And a lot of people were convinced he was a meme, thought he didn't deserve it, blah, blah, blah. And in this tournament, he beat Light, he beat Wadi. Beat a couple other people I can't remember off the top of my head, but dude is now certified good.
Can I stop you really quick? Where was the crowd for top 8, by the way?
In bed, probably. Top 8 started at 9:30, I think, and people were really spent by Melee. And let's be real.
No, sorry, Devuz just got totally ignored by Zackray for a fist bump. Keep going.
Let's. Oh yeah, that's funny. So, and also let's be real. Big House is mostly a Melee event.
Oh, yeah.
And on top of that, Ultimate players do not show up to their thing. Melee players will show up and spectate top level Melee, top 8. Ultimate players don't care. They'll either watch in their hotel room or they'll play friendlies. I think on the whole,
that is carrying over from Smash 4 too.
Right, that's a Smash 4 thing. It's frustrating, but it's a different vibe. It's a different group.
Bad check.
But it was also mad late, so I don't want to.
9:30
that cannot be overstated.
Mad late. Yeah, for a top 8 Sunday, yes, I would agree.
For a top 8 Sunday,
but I think they did 64 on Sunday, or 48, or 32.
Top 64, which I think everybody has said that's a mistake.
I think top 32 on Sunday is the bar. 64 is, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Anyways,
so
go on.
Arfang is in it.
Arfang is in it. Yeah, Pichu God. Also South Carolina gang. R Roach, right?
Yeah, he made it in there. And so if you look at the bracket, you got 5 top 10 players, I believe, because it's DeBuzz, Nairo, Shutone, Samsora, and one more that I can't remember. But I think it's 5. Shit, now that's going to bug me. Whatever. Okay. Tweak. What am I saying? Tweak.
Tweakerton.
Yeah, so 5 top 10 players, and 4 of them are not in Summit, and those are Dabuz, Shuton, Zackray, and Meister. So
it worked out nicely, IMO.
Yeah, it worked out insanely. So
this is probably the best. It could not even. It's like handpicked best Summit lineup, I think.
Yeah, it's ideal. It's ideal. So all these people are going in, and the 4 people that did not make Summit, Shuton gets eliminated right away. He is a very competitive set with Tweak, but Tweak comes out ahead just barely. So Shuton is out at 7th. Then Dabuz wins his match with Nairo, and if I'm not mistaken, Meister won his match against whoever he played in winners. It was it Zackray?
Meister.
Yeah, he beat Zackray. Meister beat Zackray. So what's interesting here is you have on one side, you have Dabuz, and you have one side Meister. Both of these guys want to get into Summit. And now it looks like it's a lock because both of them are getting either 2nd or 3rd at this point. So Dabuz plays Meister, Dabuz wins. Meister sits there, waits for his opponent. Zackray makes an insane run all the way up, barely beats Meister, and knocks him out of Summit, which was unprecedented. Like that
from winners?
From losers. Because
Wow.
Meister got knocked
No, I know, but Meister's coming to us from winners, so he was in winners finals. Then he gets
lost
losers finals.
Yes.
Wow,
so from losers finals.
I thought there was nothing worse than losing a tournament from winners finals, but not getting into Summit from winners finals, that's a first.
And losing to the same guy losing to the guy you beat in winners. Because remember, Meister beat
that
Zackray.
is also salt-inducing.
Yep.
Losing to somebody you beat in tournament? Oh my god.
And he was up 2-0. Because if you look at it, Meister was beating Zackray. Zackray went Sonic the first
I see
2
these
games.
2 games of Sonic on the Wikipedia.
He went 2 games Sonic, and everybody's like, why the hell is he playing Sonic the Hedgehog? And then
The Hedgehog.
and then he goes Joker for the next 3, and he just sweeps. And everybody's like, wait, what the hell was that?
3?
Apparently he tweeted that he went Sonic specifically to learn things about Game & Watch, because what you can do is you can learn his sort of attack patterns. If he's in the air, you can learn how far he can drift with down air, and you can outspace it with Sonic since he's so much faster. He used Sonic's mobility to learn about Game & Watch, and usually that's something that you hear and you're like,
is Zackray for real? Is he ahead of his time?
That's not real. Nobody would believe that unless they won the next 3 games, and he did solidly. He destroyed him, so he learned that matchup very quickly against Game & Watch. He ended up beating Dabuz, Zackray won, and Dabuz and Zackray are going to Summit. But I think that Zackray's losers run is unlike anything we've seen before. It was unreal, unprecedented. And I'm so sad that it had to happen at like 1 a.m. or midnight, so not as many people got to see it. Because oh my god,
the electrifying SmashCon run that was like essentially like an Evo copy pasta with Leo coming back, slapping up Sam, slapping up Tweak from losers. That was electrifying. But what I'm looking at right now is that's sad. I mean, that's a whole other issue. Whatever. So Zackray, I mean, godlike. Let's look at this top 8 graphic just so we know what we're talking about. I did see the meme by Light where it took the PG stats graphic, and for Zackray's portrait they put the Smash Ultimate like box art because he made everybody, but he did have apparently
that was funny.
All these characters from Game & Watch down to Sonic, Rob, Wolf, and then Joker, also Dog in the Neighborhood, shout out to dogs. So then we got Dabuz at 2nd, Meister at 3rd. Meister stirring up the Twitter fingers. A lot of people were upset losing to Game & Watch, which I don't really know if there's sympathy to be had for. I don't know.
Game & Watch is annoying, but like Game & Watch has caused this in every game.
Yeah,
literally every game. Like it's
not Melee.
He's he's not a real character in Melee.
I've never seen a Game & Watch on stream in Melee.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I'm not about it.
Yeah, I mean,
he's always going to do that. He did that in PM. He did that in Brawl to an extent. He's done that in every game. He always induces because he doesn't play the same game as everybody. And it's interesting because like it always changes the way he does it, but he's always different, and it pisses people off.
Yeah. And it's what it is. I mean, anytime there's a frame 3 involved on anything, or I don't even know what his trampoline is, it's probably frame 2 to 4.
3?
But yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's 3.
Luigi Nair, Yoshi Nairs, like those sort of things that like keep you from playing a regular game, it takes everybody off. But in any case, I think the happiest of all is going to be Yeti, who finally was able to tell people like, see, this is what I'm losing to every time I go to comic book, every time I'm in the Midwest. Because Meister makes those pit stops seemingly almost randomly in the Midwest, and Meister and MVD and ESAM in top 3 with him winning there's no more an iconic duo than that. Yeah. But over here in 4th we had Naru, which was nice to see. I saw the DK play before I eventually had to like turn in. I know it was really there. Funny. It was there. Wolf and then Palutena, and then of course Tweak also with the box art with Trainer, Wario, and Wolf. Wolf being a common in this top 8.
Number 7 wolves apparently in top 64. Most common character.
Yeah, so that's cool to see. Makes sense. Yeah, anywhere from top to bottom, but it's not like everyone uses him or can. I mean, Wolf is Wolf. So right. Daisy Peach from Samsora, interesting choice for using Daisy. I don't know much about that. I didn't get to ask him. I don't know what the advantages are. I did see the Beefy Smash Dudes video for certain very key properties having to do with turnips, but for the most part, it's kind of hard to tell, sort of like Samus and Dark Samus. I know that Samus and Dark Samus have different properties on their hits, electric versus fire, blah, blah, blah. But for the most part, like, what compared to the very easy to pick out Marth Tipper, compared to Lucina not having that, there's nothing quite like that, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So we saw the Daisy, cool. And then Shootone in 7th, and Arfang with the Pichu. So Arfang, South Carolina Roach Gang, silencing any dissenter in no better fashion than top 8ing an S tier, which again, Big House 9 was an S tier. Yes. By PGR players, pretty much like bringing it out. And then we got Mars, Scat sneaking into top 16. I swear, Scat is the most unhyped player in the sense of like he's so hyped that he wins, but it's like the hype doesn't go anywhere. It turns into like negative hype. Yeah. I feel like it's not transferable. I don't know. He doesn't deal with the Twitter game, so it's not going to be there. I feel like he's in the same camp as Zenodo in terms of like low profile. Zenodo like kind of chops it up in person, but Scab never even heard his voice.
No, I feel that he's actually really cool to talk to. He's cool as hell. I love Scab. Yeah, he's one of my favorite people to just talk the game with.
No nonsense guy. No nonsense.
Yeah, he's not much for like goofing around, but he's actually pretty funny. Like it's just in a pretty straightforward way, if that makes sense. Yeah. He's super cool, dude. I love him. I really like talking to him. But amazing coach, also very good coach.
Yeah, shout out to Scat. I know he does double on that. And still with MVG, so props to him. But the rest of the top 16 with Wadi, Salt One, Lights, Zenodo, the only person he noted himself in this entire top 16 bracket that doesn't have a prefix, aka a team. Everybody else is pretty signed up. Everybody else is indebted to the dollar. And after him is ESAM, and then of course Ned, a popular Midwest favorite, coming to us with a Cloud from Smash 4. Now only Trainer and Joker, which to no surprise.
Yep. So
not too many surprises. It is kind of crazy that the Buzz lost from winners, considering he has taken big houses before. But I don't think there's any mercy to be had there.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks, but second's great. He beat a lot of great people, and he's going to Summit. So second still stings, but what can you do?
Yeah, I think at that point, like, it's so interesting the frequency of these events. I'm looking at the TTS here, and out of everything starting post Albion, which was July 7th, right? We didn't even have no off seasons, right? You can't say the O word. We're not implementing anything. We're just keeping things how they go because people want to play. low tier cities starting off the season down now to UFA and Big House this past weekend. We got 45 events, and for the most part, like, they're pretty top heavy. Just S, A, and B tier alone, 27 of them, so close to half. Like, pretty much, right? 45, 22. Yeah, I mean, over half are S and A and B, and then you have 5 S tiers. You have 11 A tiers. Man, this player card's going to be a disaster. And then, of course, topping it off, 11 B tiers as well. So we still have this upcoming weekend, which we're going to talk about a tiny bit at the end, but we have Clash of the Pandas Thunder Smash 3, the only sub 100 person A tier event, which you're going to see everywhere on Twitter for the next couple days until the day of the event.
Yeah.
Pretty good season. So I think Zackray, that pretty much cements IMO, his top 10 spot. A lot of people are touting top 5. To Buzz, rightfully so. And he gets the Summit spot, so that'll be good. Summit will be worth PGR points. A lot of people are excited about that, only because you had to qualify to get in, similar to Takaigi's, and also because of the way Slime structured it, that madman. He only had Leo invited, then he felt bad, then he invited Tweak. So only 2 spots were totally tapped, and why would you? How can you not count an event that Leo and Tweak are at, even if it's like a, even if it's friendlies, people count that. So yeah. Kudos to them. Kudos to Summit. But yeah, now, unless Coney has one final thing to add about Big House, I mean, we could get into it itself, but the tournament is...
Big House, the tournament was great.
Yeah.
Stream was good. I know a lot of people are sort of upset that not much stuff was streamed, and I think that comes down to scheduling. I think we need to find a fix for that, because, like we were talking about, top 64 on Sunday is a mistake.
That's a lot.
So many players had nothing to do Saturday. Like, they were like, I thought I'd be playing more. What am I doing? I'm just standing around. So definitely could be using time
one
better.
Stream?
What'd you say?
One stream?
Yeah, one stream. Well, again, it's like, it is a Melee event. Like, as much lip service as Ultimate is going to get, that is Melee's home, which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing, by the way. Ultimate gets we get the big piece of chicken at most events. I don't think there's anything wrong with letting Melee have, like, Big House, and that's, like, the big thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but we need to find a better solution. That's all.
Yes, not the final solution, just a better solution.
Yeah.
But in any case, yeah, the temperature, okay, you know, you're playing, your hands get clammy, your hands get cold, that hurts, the arthritis kicks in, right, at 22. And the streaming, and it's really tough, because so many of these issues are non-tournament related, but also non-TO controlled, but also TO influenced, and yada yada yada. And I think the biggest thing is why we remember why we go to these tournaments. A lot of people, a lot of hopefuls. I mean, listen, like, Anti was popping up for me in feeds before, like, Twitter became what it is, from his combo on Zero at Big House. I want to say 6 or 7, whenever it was, with the up air on Battlefield Reset platform, up B with Mario. Like, clips like that help the narrative, and clips like that don't necessarily start careers, but it doesn't hurt. And so I can definitely empathize for the players who are coming from South Carolina, are coming from MBDA, or coming from Florida, or, you know, traveling from New England, and you don't get any stream time. Like, that is kind of a tough deal to swallow, considering that streams are pretty much a given at every single Ultimate event.
Yeah.
Even down to the C tiers. Sometimes they have 2 streams, and you're like, what are you doing? You have like a 64 person, like, it's fine, you know? Credit to the grinders. But I do know that it is something where even Leffen was talking about the middle ground, in the sense of, like, things that affected both Melee and Ultimate. Again, the temperature, the venue being extremely cold, which, again, temperature is relative, so it was objectively cold, sure, but, like, some people can work with it, some people can't. But in any case, like, you shouldn't have to think about that, right? You shouldn't have to worry about that if you're competing. But do we boycott Big House? No, I don't think so. Just we're submitting feedback. The other part of it, which now segues into the main part of tonight's show, is the fact that payouts, right? The payouts were subject of a very big and very pivotal moment in Smash Twitter this past weekend. Smashboards being relevant for the first time in a little bit. Shout out to Smashboards, just calling it like it is. Posted this tweet, which listed the payout amounts for the top 8 at Big House. Zackray got 4K. Cool. And then there was a similar one that was floating for Mango, who won Big House Melee, getting around $3,000 or something like that, which he ended up gambling and getting over $5,000 in winnings. So props to him. But in any case, this opens up this whole conversation about how the pot should be formed, who is the pot for, why do we have a pot, why aren't they bigger, why aren't they smaller? So we're going to get into the money talk. And Kony, if you had something to start off on before I jump in, we're done with Big House, right? We're good? We're ready to go?
Yep. No, we're good.
Okay. So, historically, if you have never heard of a Smash tournament before, the pricing for it has been completely formed by the grassroots community in the sense that people pay a entrance fee and then they pay a bracket fee, and in doing so they supply part of that money to what's going to be divided between 8, sometimes 16. I don't think top 32 payouts is a thing. I mean, Evo doesn't even do that. No. But some venues, they'll do down to top 16, etc., giving a little bit of something to everybody, and winner takes the most. This model, of course, is great when it's on a weekly basis for people with economics and budgets that are that of a teenager. I mean, put simply, if you get $200, that's really good money when you're younger. But I'll tell you right now, $200 is not real adult money. That sounds more like about $40, $30, right? After cable, well, not cable, geez, I am a boomer. After bills, you know what I mean? Like when you hear $100, you're really thinking, well, I can really spend like maybe 15 to 20 of that. You know what I mean? That you're going to be able to pocket. And so a lot of people win these locals. It's cool. Monthlies, they have maybe a bigger pot bonus, like maybe $200-$300, which again, a lot in Smash money. Tier 1 esports laughing money at that point. But then we have these majors with these like, arenas and these esport stadiums and these production values that are like insane, to this day. I mean, I don't even know, Coney, what you'd say, like seeing something like the 2GGC, could you have envisioned that like 10 years ago? Like,
no. And I think people are sort of, so in 2014, which was, 5 years ago, and I'm talking about early 2014, Apex 2014, January, I got paid $50 for my entire weekend, and that's it. And I didn't have to pay venue.
Wait, what event?
Apex 2014.
$50 for the weekend?
Or no, I guess it was 2015 because it was after Smash 4 came out.
$50 for the weekend.
$50 for the weekend. No hotel, no travel, even though I only had to drive. So this was the tournament that went terrible and it went off the rails. But I got paid $50. And I was okay with that. I was like, hell yeah, I'm getting paid this weekend. That's crazy.
Wait, 15 or 14? Is that what you said?
50.
No. 2015 or 2014?
Oh, 2015.
Is that the one with the
January
roof
2015.
and all that?
That was the one that went terrible. Yeah, that was the one that went off the rails. So I got paid $50, but that was agreed upon. I got paid $50.
Wow. No contract.
That was how life was, and we just commentated on Smash, and we got like nothing off it, right? And I'll never forget the first tournament that I made a big commentary paycheck. I'll never forget.
$100.
Way more.
I'm joking.
So when I was talking to 2GG about Civil War, I just wanted to go. And this was Civil War, which is like the hallmark tournament of that era. Civil War, I was talking to 2GG. I just wanted to go. So they helped me out with flight. They hooked me up with housing in a house with 10 other people, like a B&B. Super happy. They got me out there, and then they did that. We didn't talk anything about compensation. Nothing about money. So I go, have an amazing time, because it was the best event. And I go, and I love it, and then I go home, and everything's fine. Then I'm going through my mail, and I notice a check made out to Zach Zeeks. I'm like, wait, what? And I open it, and I got a, frankly, insane check to me. We never talked money. I never talked money with anybody in 2GG, not with Champ, not with anybody running the scenes. Like, I didn't think I was getting anything. Or ESA, I didn't think I was getting anything, and then that just shows up on my doorstep. And it was a lot.
Quite literally.
Yeah, it was a lot. And I was like, huh. Like, is this normal? Because, like, this isn't happening anywhere. But that was, God, when was Civil War? So 2GG Civil War.
That was going to be
Civil War
in
was
the middle of the year.
Let me see. Civil War was April, the culmination of
April or May?
Let me look.
Because it's not the 2GGC finals. That was December.
March 2017. March 2017. And maybe it wasn't Civil War, because that seems so late. Maybe I'm lying. It might have been before that, but I can't think of what I went to 2GG before that.
What a boomer.
I did not go to many 2GG events, but because it does not feel like March 2017. And maybe that's my brain tricking me. But the point that I'm trying to make is it is not recent, or it is incredibly recent, rather. It has not been a long-standing thing that we've been making money from this. Like, we as commentators, and maybe
people.
I don't want to speak as anybody else. As commentators, I'm talking about
10 people, 5 people,
8, maybe 7,
6,
maybe 6. It's low.
Going positive, going to the event, getting paid for, getting travel. 6 on a good day.
It's very low. So maybe that time is all blurred for me. I apologize. Maybe it was a different event, but I remember seeing that check and I was like, "What the hell is this?" I had no idea. So I bring up this point to say that, like, you know, a little bit less than 5 years ago, we were making nothing, like $50, and that's it for hours and hours of work. So anybody that looks at this and sees this payout structure and thinks, "Oh, things have got to change right now. We need this to happen right now, right this instant. We need people to have careers and make livings off this."
401k.
It's happening. It's happening very quickly when you have a 30,000-foot view. Like, if you look at the way things have scaled and how things have sort of been trending over the past few years, it feels slow, but it's happening because it's exponential. Like, it's driving all together. And we have some flops. Like, obviously, you know, so many people wanted to do a circuit, never really worked out. We have some people that have tried to dump in thousands of dollars of pop bonuses, and it doesn't really take off. So everybody's trying different things. But the thing that I would encourage most people to do is sort of take a step back, try to keep perspective, and think about for how long we had nothing. And now Nintendo is running sanctioned events that they're doing. They're a little wonky, but they're doing it. They're hosting videos of Nairo on their main YouTube channel with 6.5 million subscribers, showing EVO, showing the tournament series, showing players and what it's like to compete and how you can get involved in your area. They're doing that. They're hosting a circuit in Europe. And I just think it's a little crazy to say, okay, Nintendo's not doing enough. They should be doing more. Now, that said, I think that... Do I think Nintendo is leaving money on the table? Yes, absolutely. I think there is so much money to be gained from Smash and from leveraging this community we have. However, it takes a significant amount of labor because you have to put up a circuit, or you have to put up your own series, or you have to find a way to endorse and sponsor series without implicitly, what's the word?
Endorsing them.
Well, I guess that's it, but I didn't want to reuse it. But there's another word that I'm trying to think of. But you don't want to attach your name, your Nintendo brand, on any tournament because they are fiercely protective, very old school, very conservative. You don't want to do that without proper vetting. So you need that. So it's labor, it's money, it's time, and there's so much risk between all of these different things. And I think it's silly to say that, you know, all we need is more money. Nintendo should be doing this. It's owed to us. All these other games are doing it. Smash is in such a unique position that no other game is in. And we could list the differences all day. I'm not going to waste everybody's time, but let me just say, if Nintendo's not getting involved, there's probably a good reason. again, do I think they could make money? Yes, but it would take a lot of investment, because if their aim was just to throw, here's $50,000 in a pot, that does nothing for us. It does very little for the scene, because at best, that just advertises Smash. Everybody buys Smash. 15 million copies sold. I think the install base was higher than the amount of Switches. I think that was Breath of the Wild. But pretty much everybody bought Smash. You're not going to sell Smash or a Switch to somebody that has never seen Smash somehow by throwing $50,000 into a pot. It is not going to happen. How do you monetize it? A bunch of different ways. I think, and I'm sorry, I know I'm talking for a while, but I think the best correlation is in the so if Nintendo involvement in terms of like a circuit, that is the macro sense. In the micro sense, skins. Skins are very easy to make. They can be hugely profitable if you charge $5 for a Japan Mario skin that's white but has a red circle.
I mean,
$5
Sans was 99 cents, right?
Right, exactly. They're not trying, like, they can do that. They're doing that with characters, but if they just did it with skins, Halloween skins, the League model, they could do it, and it's not labor intensive. Why haven't they done it? Either it's not possible or they don't think it's profitable. And I think it's very presumptuous for us to say, well, they're just not putting in money because they're stupid. For a way more intensive, way more risky thing like sponsoring us for a huge circuit.
Well, so you basically summarized the past episode of why, things are the way they are. What can Nintendo do? What isn't Nintendo doing? Why? I mean, listen, the same people that are tweeting about Nintendo putting in money would automatically, most likely, not even be involved in many of the dealings, considering the track record, considering, like, if Nintendo's going to step up. I mean, it will be, like, again, more of the Jordan Kent, more of the polished up TV-ready personalities. I'm not even talking about casters, but, like, players could be banned, like, outright. Like, there could be, like, League, okay? Like, if you pop off with your headphones and do it too quickly, too loud, you get fined with your team. You get fined for a pop off. So let's not even get into what ifs and whatever, but let's go into what the people are saying, which Nintendo has been outruled, and just it's not even within the wheelhouse of it's just not realistic, is really what people are starting to say and starting to see. For right now, we just can't depend on Nintendo. Many people have gone from a outright dismissal to full hostility. People like even Armada has gone on the record. Leffen has gone on the record. As far as as far as Smash 4 ulti people, Zero has gone on the record. It's very contentious. But what we saw in these instances are the quick fixes, the quick band-aids, the quick long-term solutions to like short-term problems, I want to say. And that's the increasing of the venue fee. And that has been pretty much a do-or-die situation on everyone's timeline. Point stands that if you increase the venue fee by just a $5 increase, $10 increase, right?
Let's be clear here. So we're talking about the entry fee, not the venue fee.
Sorry, entry to bracket. Yes. Yeah. Venue to get into the building, entry to play into doubles, into singles, or squad strike. So the entry fee, increasing it by $5, $10, people argue. First place could be walking out with like a couple more G's, et cetera, et cetera. And a lot of people are thinking like, okay, cool. We are now exporting the cost of what a sponsor should be taking care of what a compendium should be taken care of literally any other donation or monetary support that you can imagine, and having the rest of the tournament that's going to go negative anyway support it. That's a hard sell, right? And there's a tweet actually that came out by Helper. He comes to us from House of 3000, where he mentioned that here's a thought that's likely to get me absolutely eviscerated. Basically, why should 99.5% of the bracket that's going to go negative support the people at the top? And that's, again, people are also mentioning, well, what's $5 on top of 10 if you're going to do the whole Korean barbecue thing? And listen, for your information, the Korean barbecue thing is a Twitter phenomenon that, like, a handful of people go to. It's the same people who post the Airbnb. Whoa, bro. Where are those Airbnbs now? Where are those hotels now? Yep. Where are the club pics and the lights? Like that is there's no saving. There's no like, that's all just like the gold rush, right? So yes, like increasing venue fee, people argue, well, what's $5 more? What's $10 more? What if if companies were to apply that logic to the economics, like your toothpaste? Listen, I know you're sitting there with $3.99, $4.99. What's $2 more, right? You're gonna need it anyways. You're gonna use it. That's like, no. That's people are price sensitive. Smashers are already, by the way, broke. I mean, if top players, I mean, here's like the crazy mental gymnastics. If top players are setting sub goals, donation drives to just go to an event, which does not happen in any other tier 1 esport, which we're not necessarily a part of, although we like to think we are. We're as loud as a tier 1 esport, but we're definitely not monetarily in equal stance. That is just like, we're dealing with such crazy situations that always link back to the hobby becoming the job, and us not having the ability to necessarily make that a reality, considering what we have in front of us. And as these events get bigger, as these events have already scaled, like, yes, we want the arenas, we want this and that, but like every square foot that you add to an event is at least $200 to $300 in overhead that you have to take into account, you know? And like, people like criticize tournaments for being in small venues, criticize tournaments for not having production, criticize tournaments for not having more than one stream, criticize tournaments for having the same commentators, criticize tournaments for this, for that, for this, for that. And so where does that money come from, you know? And it won't come from people spending $5 or $10 more. I'll tell you that.
Well, I also don't think, so I'm in the camp that $5 or $10 more doesn't. I'm in the camp that it's not going to change much. I think people
change much for people's decisions, or change much for the tournament itself.
Well, both. So I don't think it'll change much for decisions for majors. If you're talking locals, regionals, absolutely. If you add $5, $10 on, like I'm trying to think of a local series, or like a regional that's recognized. But if you add it onto like a C,
like an
or
overclocked
tier,
in New England, yeah.
If it's a B or a C tier, people would care. If it's a local, absolutely not. But if it's even a little bit bigger, people would care. If it's a major, if you dump another $5, $10 on a Genesis or a Smash and Splash or a SmashCon or an Evo, I genuinely don't think that's a dent, because nobody's going broke or losing their house over $5 or $10.
Yeah,
and I think that it's not. I think that it's not going to change registration a huge amount. That said, I am 10 years removed from being a broke college student. I was one. I know what it's like, but I wasn't one in 2019, and I know that the world's different now. 2, I'm not a TO, and I have this is just my opinion with zero factual knowledge. So I defer to that, but 2019 31-year-old Kony from his ivory palace says $5 to $10 isn't a big deal. If other people tell me I'm wrong, I'm willing to listen.
What'd you say?
What?
Oh, willing to listen. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that's all I said. I'm willing to listen.
Okay. It's basically like you're going to Disney World, right? So you're gonna spend that money anyways on the overpriced food. I get that. I respect that. For majors, it will not change much. For locals and down, like, you have to be really careful, because then.
Oh, and sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but the other point that I was going to make is that I don't think it changes much for the tourney too, because let's say, okay, so Mango made $3K for getting first out of 1,000 at Big House. Let's double that. Even if the venue fee was $10 more, he makes $6K. Is $6K enough for being the best in the world, for defeating so many top 10 players? A lot of people would say no. A lot of people would be like, "Oh, that's not. I need a Fortnite payout. I need a Black Ops payout." You know what I mean?
And it still makes like 9th and 13th that much. I mean, again, like, they're not getting anything.
Exactly. It doesn't fix it.
It doesn't necessarily, like, it's like a snap decision. Hey, we need to increase venue fee. These pots are looking bad, but it's like probably the most backwards way of approaching it. And if you see the argument on Twitter, like, it's just as plain as day. People are making that argument are looking at pretty much just what's in front of them, not anything else beyond it. And if anything, not even considering sustainability. So that pretty much wraps that up. And while the cash money solution for Smash still majorly lies with Nintendo, and of course the endemic sponsors we get every now and then, it is also a point of irony where, for example, this weekend we have Thunder Smash 3 with a $10,000 pop bonus and 81 or so registrants. And the funny part is, coming from SoCal and coming from the home of 2GG, and Nightmare on Smashville being within the same month and having probably triple the entrants, we have an interesting picture here. And without even getting into the history, I know Thunder Smash has been on social media less than ideal in some instances. And in other instances, so has 2GG. So whether they're planning over dates of another major, like 2GG has in the Pacific Northwest, or they're running their events not as well as they could have, or let's say horribly, like people claim to be for Thunder Smash, like whether it's growing pains or it's, again, like this huge agency that like doesn't know how big it actually is, people like find a reason to complain, but also shrug away at possible, not even solutions, but like things that may benefit people. Yeah. And we saw it with GTX, right? Guilted into going, CRT's on the back, $1 billion in prizing, but like people don't like it if they didn't make it. So it's kind of weird, you know? And we'll see this problem continue on as people don't feel like they're at the center of a solution. They feel like they're more so getting serviced. And so they'll treat it like a service and complain and demand, as opposed to treating it as a part of the community, which these entities kind of try to be. So I want to put a pin in that because we've seen on Twitter the whole thing went overboard.
We can talk about it for literally hours.
We talked about it before. And this money already, you got to think, it's split between the players, the staff. Like, how are you going to involve the viewer? Like, Shine's been doing things, SmashCon's been doing things, Frostbite's been doing things, Big House is not. Genesis has been doing things.
Yeah.
About getting people excited when they're there to spend more money, do this and that. Like, it's, I don't know, like I'm exhausted. And
you know what I think it is? I think the answer, if it's going to come from anywhere, the golden goose here, the missing piece is that, okay, entrance numbers are going to be the same. Amount of majors are going to be the same. Let's say everything else is the same. Sponsors. The main thing that is drastically different that we could find, if we can find a way to harvest it, if we can find a way to juice it, that's the way we make the money, is in viewership. Because the viewership is nuts. Mango pulled in, and I say Mango because if he wasn't in the tournament, I would have done this. Mango at Big House pulled in, what, 96K? Mm-hmm. That's crazy. I don't know how you milk that. I don't know if it's possible, and people have been very averse to it in the past. Even if Hungrybox said, what if we asked every viewer to just give $1, and then you can watch everything that weekend in chat? $1 for the major. Like, I would venture to say 75% of people wouldn't do it. Maybe not 75, maybe more like 50. But most people wouldn't do it. But if you added $1 from 25% of those people, what is that, 90K? That's what, 45, 27. If 1/4 of those people do it, that's $27,000 in the pot. If a quarter of them do it, that's generous. If a tenth of them do it, that's $9,000 in the pot. But you have a tenth of your viewership, which hurts other ways. So it's a very delicate thing. And if you screw that up, you lose your viewership forever. That would tank it. Yeah. And they won't come back. So people don't want to mess with that, but that's Pandora's box. And if you find out how to open it, you're going to be a millionaire, and we're all getting paid. But nobody wants to touch it because you're putting your stuff on the line. It's
also so variable, because if that's the model that things start to get dependent on, like, how do you budget an event with like a literal Mario Kart item cube as your potential chat number? Because here's the thing. The Big House that the Buzz won with like 18 Bayonettas in top 8, no one's paying $1 even to shut the stream off. And so it's like, how are you going to depend on, like, you can't, like, Mango winning is like Haley's Comet. And to like plan the perfect date for a Haley's Comet, it could be cloudy that day. So it's like, I think that's a great idea. I think it's like sub mode put into a more like flexible stance, but I also like that doesn't make for being able to be a career player in Smash Brothers and save for a house. Like, doesn't make for a career Smash player to not have to worry about where their next meal comes from in the tough days, you know, like,
Yep.
getting real for a moment. I mean, like, yes, like I am now like 5 years removed from being a broke college student, and those are rough times, you know? And like in those moments, I remember like when you're in fight or flight and you're in survival, like very small luxuries seem grand. But now that I've taken a step back, salaried career person, teacher, like you see very quickly, like $1,000 is not a lot. Like $1,000 is absolutely not a lot of money in today's terms, which doesn't mean for someone it isn't going to make their day. But like Zackray getting $4,000 for being like in argument for top 5, top 10, obviously in the world at this game, like it's missing that piece. It's missing that central piece, and it's not going to be from raising venue fee, taxing the chat. Like it's harnessing and monetizing this viewership, which people are still trying to figure out, and people are getting better at it. And like they've been pulling in different, unique, like ESA did it best, like progressive, like they would be in, you know, and that's money they got, and that's money they were able to pay out, you know. But other people are still figuring it out, and like again, turning inward to the community, like why can't we fix this? Why can't we make this better? It's like simply that. It's like we don't have enough. Like we don't have enough for what you think we need, and even then, that's not enough for anybody, you know? Like Zackray, DeBuzz, Meister, Nairo, Samsora, Tweak, Arfang, and Shootone, those were 8 people from a nearly 800-person event. Like, that's that, and we're going to open up Q&A. Not to end on a somber note, because at the end of the day, here's the thing, too. It's like, you, like Sam had said, when you come into this game for the money, when you come into this game for the commentary for the money, when you come to this game for the TOing for the money, like you're in the wrong game. Like, you know that's why we're here. So in any case, Kony, we beat that to the dead horse. I wanted this a short episode. Now it's not. So 3 questions from the chat. We're gonna open up Q&A. I didn't know how we actually got to speak that long, but I did like your anecdote about not only even, what is it, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, no, 4 years ago, you got $50 for a weekend. You're out of your mind. No contract, no anything in writing. Coney could have not shown up. They could have not paid him, and Coney wouldn't have anything to say in court. Like, that is how funny these dealings are, because it's so professional, unprofessional. You know what I mean?
And then I got paid out the wazoo because of ESA money for an event I didn't talk to them about. I didn't know was coming. Like, expectations were incredibly low, not even 3-4 years ago. So let's keep that in mind, as everybody wants more now.
Yeah. So we're going to open up the Twitch chat to bombard us with questions. We might do more than 3. I'm feeling pretty heckin' tired.
Hey, I'm up all night, dude. I'm ready.
You are? Okay, let's see how this goes. Let's see how much we're impressed by the chat. If your first time in Smash Center, we take Q&A from the chat. They hit us with the rudest, tootest, lutest, not lutest, sorry, never mind. This is a rated G channel. Questions, and we take our shot at answering them. I actually like this one here at the top by B Sanchez61 saying, Panda Global, this weekend at TBH Big House, Melee's top 8 was great. So great that I'm a little upset that there's no Melee Smash Center. Would you ever consider having a guest host specifically for Melee? 2 things. 1, isn't there a Melee podcast that's like literally called the Bad Melee Podcast or something? I'm pretty sure Rishi or somebody on Reddit does a weekly Melee podcast. And 2, we actually had the author of the critically acclaimed book, The Book of Melee, on the show as a guest once, which is kind of cool. So we love our Melee bros and sisters, and I think for the next guest that we have coming on pretty shortly, I think people will really appreciate. But I agree, there should be a Melee Smash Center, but I will tell you right now, I do not have the bandwidth, and I don't think Coney does either.
No, and I would not speak to that game.
You think Coney's bad on Japan? All right, Coney would be so bad on Melee. I confuse Blur for a player.
You know what's really funny? If you so there's a tweet thread by Samsora and Scar. I don't know if you guys saw it. But
weird pairing, by the way.
Yeah, let's say that it was basically Samsora and Scar got into an elevator together. Samsora was like, "Hey, your wife, right?" And Scar was like,
"Stop.
No.
Stop.
I'm Scar." And Samsora was like, "Oh, I was so embarrassed." Scar tweeted back at him, "If it makes you feel any better, I had no idea who you were. Scar didn't know Samsora. Samsora didn't know Scar. It's funny, but it's also kind of sad because while we're talking about big payouts and Nintendo getting involved, we don't even know who each other are. So it's kind of pathetic.
Oh my God.
If you put me on a Melee podcast, I know the top 10. I know a lot of the people, but I can't get deep into it.
Mangrove.
If you asked me who like the Pandarian was of Melee, I don't know. Who's like the B+ tier player in Melee? I don't know.
A guy named Bananas? Or Banana?
Well, actually,
he was in a skit. Actually,
Army. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know.
The thing too is that most of their tags are just nouns. Like,
oh yeah.
So it also makes it hard. Or their names, like Michael, and it's like, what? We have like
Jerry and MDVA.
We got Dirk Wizzy. We got Nairo. Like, I don't know. In any case, that was a funny question. Thank you. This one I like, actually. This is about our boys, TG. Electro Burb asks, Panda Global, in your opinions, is there anything Thunder Gaming clearly should be doing, but isn't? Or is it too complicated to say? Seems odd with the money they're throwing around. One word, relax. I think, I'll be real on the Thunder Gaming side. I like them, but also I did not necessarily get the chance to build a relationship because it was just like, hello, we're an org out of a box day one. And personally, I think that was like one of the issues, like coming, like growing too quickly, if that makes sense.
Yep.
It's so funny. It's so weird. It's so funny. It's like 2GG could set a poll, right, to decide the next president of the United States, and people will slam that retweet button. Like, people will share it. People will know Twitter algorithmically can be messed with these polls, and they don't care. And that's just the power of a homegrown org. But then, like, Thunder Smash will, like, set up, like, registration boosts and this and that, boom, 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 and, like, no. And make, like, voting a national holiday. People will be like, no. I don't know who you are. I don't know what this is. I don't care. I don't know, Coney. That's my opinion. Relaxing. I don't know what you think.
I think that's it. My word would be guidance. I think that they have so many resources and no idea what to do with them, I would say. I think that they have a vision, but it's not one that will fly for Smash. I think that they have an idea that's maybe worked elsewhere, and I think it's not a bad one, and I think that they genuinely want to do things to help. But the problem is that Smashers are naturally skeptical, and they're cynical. Do you know how hard it is to buy in to make a major in Smash? Like, it's insane. It's so difficult. You have to secure a venue year after year to get into the conversation, because Smashers need goodwill. You got to be a homie. You gotta be a homer. People have to know who you are.
Oh my God.
You can't just be an org, drop 50K, and have people show up, because we've been burned a lot before, because we are at that perfect crossroads between viewership and relevancy, because we pop off on Twitter. We have more Twitter. Why do I have 42K Twitter followers? Why do I have more than Sajam?
Every day.
Why do I have more than... It's insane to me when I look at how many I have compared to comparable people. Like, Sajam is so much. He's a better commentator than me. He's more relevant in bigger games. He's been on bigger stages. I have 10K more than that dude. What the hell? What's going on? He does it full time. Like,
it's because you play those weird Play-Doh games.
Well, that's part of it. Is that I'm very good at playing the Twitter game, because Twitter's very fun, and I think Sajam takes it from a very professional approach.
He's popped off before though on Twitch.
He's popped off before, but I like shit posting, and people like it.
So yeah,
but I think we are at that perfect crossroads of like viewership and having people look at us, because the Twitter game is crazy and we have a lot of viewers, and we don't cost a lot because we don't get a lot and we don't expect a lot, so people want to buy into us, which is what makes us skeptical. So what I think 2GG needs is to have somebody guiding. Oh, I'm sorry, TG.
Freudian.
TG, 2GG. No, I love 2GG. They have the opposite problem, where they have a ton of guidance and a lot of vision, but they need the funds to back them up, and that's why ESA and 2GG were like peanut butter and jelly. I get why they broke up for reasons, but I'm just saying it was a glorious summer.
Back to the match.
TG needs somebody to guide their hand in a helpful way, because clearly they have all these resources. they've got so much stuff they could do things with. They just need somebody to help them with what to do in a creative direction. Because I think that they don't come from Smash. They're trying to help Smash, and they're doing their best, but they don't come from Smash. And if they don't have that, they're not going to be able to speak to Smashers. And I think that's where you see all that Twitter stuff, because like they don't speak our language, and it's a weird thing to get, but you need that for Smash. Personally, that's how I feel.
I think like one of the stories of the year, if we make it to the next decade, which by the way, 3 months left in the decade. If you want to ask your crush out, you probably should if you want to be on the right side of this decade. But I think the real like I think powder keg is the fact that there were all these signings of like everywhere from like Omni to Vicky to Mighty Keith to I mean I think like Twitter started memeing it, and like the OxyClean guy got signed, like Anthony Fantano got signed, like all these random YouTubers and all this stuff. And like when the well runs dry, which is typically what happens to some of these orgs, that will be a lot of people not left on the street, but kind of left on the Twitter street, and that's never fun. So good luck to them. I think that they're a net positive, but like you're right. Like if a Smasher doesn't have Goodwill for your event, oh boy, if you don't have back in Smash 4, if you didn't have Duck Hunt unlocked, if you didn't have Smashville unlocked in your tournament setup, get ready for that Locust tweet. Get ready for that, like, all those players who, like, would go to Twitter immediately. That's it. That's your event. That was literally what decked so many events in the beginning. So, hopefully this weekend, I think it should go well. It should be cool. You'll be there. It'll be fun. But here's a question I want to wrap up into 2, because it actually touches on something people don't typically understand, and I need to change this song because, wow, Inkling music is annoying. Sometimes it's a bop. All right, so here's a question coming to us about DQs, and a couple happen. Obviously, we have Glitchgate, right? That's a whole. If you want to trigger me, just mention Glitchgate. It's the best way to trigger me. But no, I'm joking. Nothing triggers me. I'm already dead inside. But this past weekend, Dark Wizzy was in Winners at Big House. Felt a little under the weather. DM'd me before he did anything and said, "Suar, if I DQ, will it affect my ranking?" I said, "No, you're in Winners. You haven't lost. It's like you never went because you just beat people, and then you didn't earn your placement, so you don't get a placement. You didn't lose to anybody, so that's nulled." He DQ'd in Winners, nothing happened to him. Wizzy will not have a Big House placement. But Void...
Really?
Yeah. That's only... I mean, he only advanced so much in Winners, and who he beat doesn't do anything for anybody, if that makes sense. And
no,
also...
I hear you.
There was
because the only people that he beat are people that he's not going to get points from.
Yeah, so it's essentially, it sounds like, oh my god, now you can abuse the system in GQ, and yes, also you won't place. Like, it always amazes me when people are like, now you can game the system. Yes, game the system, DQ, my friend. That's how you get on the PGR. But Void was the opposite, similar to Mr. R and past events. I remember Mr. R felt bad, but he wanted to DQ, but he was already in Losers. If you DQ in Losers, that does hurt you. So this question from... who was it? If a player... Yes, from the Eternal Cow. If a PGR player isn't feeling it during a tournament, is it better for them to DQ rather than to risk losing to someone unranked? If so, do you see an issue incentivizing DQs over playing? Again, you are traveling for a weekend. You are spending your team's money. You are spending the resources of your fan base to root for you. If you DQ at an event, that is a net negative for you. For rankings, though, it's null because you haven't lost to anybody, and you've only beaten people who are essentially like gym fodder. No offense to anybody that Dark Wizzy beat, but from a statistical standpoint, it just doesn't amount to anything. So you get null. But as soon as you drop into Losers and you lost, now you're in trouble. And that's like anything, right? Like if you're playing in a game and you got sick and then you drop out, like that's, yeah, you weren't ready for the game, unfortunately. Then it sucks because Smash events are every other weekend / every weekend. You don't get a quote unquote break. But I mean, that's kind of what happens, right? So in any case, DQ and Winners if you can. I don't think there will be a situation where someone's in Winners finals and they DQ, because then like that's no one does that. The other thing I saw was like this recent, like, again coming from Thunder Smash, 81 person A tier. I'm gonna get my PGR friends, we're gonna host an invitational and we're gonna like game the system, and it's like you're talking about hosting an event now. Like, do it. Like, have an event and convince people who have things to lose to go to the event to potentially lose. You know what I mean? Like, Nairo and everybody on the East Coast, if they went over Mars's house, set up a pot, or not even, just Reg made the bracket and they played and made an invitational, yes, that would be an invitational. That would be an event. But why would Mars want to lose anything? Why would Nairo want to lose anything? Now you're just making an event. Like, it's so weird. It's like you want to try so hard to break it, you end up just playing into it. You know what I mean?
No, I hear you. That's very interesting, and I'm gonna have to think on that because I hear everything that you're saying.
Yeah, I see it.
But I'm instinctively like
do it
averse to it. Like I hear what you're saying, and I totally agree. But and I don't think it's sustainable to go to an event, be like, oh, I'm playing bad, and then drop out because like your sponsor's gonna be like, oh, what the hell are you doing? See, if you're on CLG and you keep dropping out, and people are like, what the stop doing?
It kind of fixes itself, and like maybe we could write something into it, not this season, but like if a player does this and that, but like it turns into this regulatory body that like we try not to be, and like
no, I hear that.
No one. Okay, listen, no one got into the PGR by DQing themselves. Case closed. So next question. If you see one, read it. Otherwise, I see a couple here. People are on fire tonight.
I'm gonna keep thinking about that. That's a really interesting thing. Okay. My brain's still thinking about that. Please, next.
That's
question.
okay. Zach the Great. What's up with the big house temperature thing? Is it that the venue was too cold from the outside and no heat, or the AC was on when it wasn't supposed to be? Coney, on the scene, what happened?
AC's high. It's because the AC is high. It's because I think so.
I thought it was because the outside was getting in.
No, it's not because the outside's getting in. No, all the doors are closed. The way that the venue is structured, it's not the outside getting in. It is warmer outside. It was warmer outside consistently than it is inside in October in Detroit. Now, it was pretty warm, but it's the AC, because I think that the venue... So the space that we were in was huge, and it was blocked off halfway by a curtain. So we rented out this huge room with a concrete floor. So the floor is freezing, and there's not
concrete floor.
Yeah, and there's not enough room to fill. There's not enough people to fill the space. So they've got it on full blast, thinking that more people would show up. Because, you know, to the venue, they don't know. We rented a space that can hold anywhere from 3,000 to 15,000 people, and we were a low number.
15?
That's what I think. I mean, I don't know. I'm throwing it out there. I think that the venue, like that space that we were in, was way too big for us.
Oh,
so
was
it's
it?
like it's like half of a convention hall.
Bigger than SmashCon?
As big as SmashCon,
but with less people.
Half as big as SmashCon.
As the main people.
Room, but with less people. Yes, half as big as the main SmashCon room, but with less people. I would say maybe a little bit bigger. I'm terrible with this stuff. But regardless, yeah, I think that's what happens is venues put it at a certain temperature because they don't want everybody to be hot and they think there's going to be more people in there. And then maybe the TOs can talk to them about raising the temperature. But yes, it's very cold in the venue, and that's been a consistent thing.
Yes. How air conditioning works. Quickly, though, jumping back, Void did not DQ, just to clear something up. He just walked off after game 1.
Right.
That loss will count. I mean, he didn't DQ, but he walked off. He forfeited, which is similarly. So just to clear that up. But in case of this AC bit, sounds more unfortunate than like Big House willingly and forcefully trying to make their attendance miserable. I mean, like
they're not trying to get you to buy a hoodie.
You see Twitter after the weekend, and you're like, why are people like this? Like, I get it. You travel, you're competing. You gotta get the points. You gotta be comfortable. Why would the grass be wet during our soccer game? But again, it's like what you could have done is gone up to Juggle Rob, like, hey, we need to change this. We're not comfortable. What can we do? What do you have? What can we buy? What can we say? Like, I don't know. Anyways.
Well, also it's frustration because this is happening week after week. Like I get that it sounds like a petty complaint, but this
I don't think it's petty. I don't think it's petty. I just think it's like non-constructive.
It's happening at every major. So like I get why people are annoyed. That said, I think that there is a subset of Twitter that's pretty big that complains about every little thing. Oh my god, the scheduling. I couldn't find... How am I supposed to eat? somebody was like, oh my god, I had to play Smash all day. I had singles and then squad strike and then I had doubles and then I had doubles in this other game and then I had singles. You signed up for 8 events. What are you doing? You asked for this. Did you expect to only play half of your... Like, I don't get that. Some of the scheduling things could be alleviated, that's right. And I do think that we could take a more intelligent approach to scheduling. But at the same time, if you enter 6 events and have to play 6 different time slots, like, think about it. The blocks are 10 to 12, 12 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 8. So that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 blocks, maybe. Right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, I
10,
mean...
12, 2, 4, 6, 8. That's 6. 6 blocks. If you enter 4 different events, and they're all happening on that day, that's 4 different blocks you have to play in. That's basically an all-day affair.
Listen, Smashers don't know nuances. Smashers also, I mean, it's a tough world in the meat space, right? It's tough to navigate. It's not just something you point and click and can just regulate at the drop of a hat. But getting to a question that does interest me, thank you, Coney, is by 2JXX, Panda Global. It seems like Smashers wants pre-majors to be counted for the PGR pre-majors, like Little Big House, the essential Friday night, 2GG being most popular for the post-major Monday Smash Mondays, or Mega Smash Mondays while it's late. Or essentially after 2GG events, you get Como versus Renai versus Leo versus Tweak versus Zero at like, well, not Zero back then, but you remember those Mondays where it would be like insane?
Yeah, of course.
So the pre-major ones are, I think Genesis has one too, at the Forge, I don't remember, but by and large, like, yeah, it's basically like the Olympics. You're gonna have everybody like there, you might as well party or play in that case. And
sure.
This question says, could you explain to us why they don't count, and moving forward, should we count them, in parentheses, in all caps, sent again? So I feel your urgency, 2JXX. And here's the reasoning. It's written quite literally in the few rules that we have, that no event can occur in the same city as another one for a particular weekend. And also, if we think about the spirit of these pre-major events, we kind of want players to not be double pressured into a weekend and think about player burnout when they're traveling already to compete. Do you want the stakes to be high? Sure. And competitive integrity maintained? Sure. But do you also want to see these players play? Because many people, if they knew that their ranking points were at stake, would likely defer to not. Same thing with locals, if you're thinking about it. Locals don't count because players get the chance to practice. If everything's always on the line at all times, then when do you get to practice? That was the logic behind that. And also for people winning Little Big House, like playing their secondaries, playing their tertiaries, that's like more stuff that they're practicing for the weekend event for that major. So that is why they've never counted. And also people that wanted to count, it's never the people who win them. It's not weird. It's never the people who win them. Well,
what's interesting is I was instinctively kind of averse to that. I was like, why shouldn't they count? And then when you said, they sort of could double punish somebody. So if you don't go to Genesis, not only do you not get the Genesis, but you don't get the A tier that is the pre-Genesis. But
yeah, that too.
I thought that's where you were going. But I think that evens itself out because, like, okay, but if you're not going, like, by going to these things, you're getting double the points. So like it's going to even out anyway in either direction. It's just going to incentivize people to go to more. But if you screw up at the pre-thing, it doesn't matter. But the main point, the salient point that I think you made that kind of swapped me was about the burnout. Because having people on all the time and making it so people... I agree that I don't know if players would want to enter, but they would feel sort of compelled to. Like, that's, I think, the salient point, because, like, people not trying... Okay, whatever, but I think we should give people an opportunity if they want to try, and we should make people risk it if they don't. Like, I don't see anything wrong with that, but considering the timeline that we're in and the fact that people are clearly very concerned about burnout and they feel like they have to go to everything, I think that's an important point.
And the other thing too is like people, for the most part, also look at these pre-majors for watching T, watching Sue, watching watching Zackray and Shootone come into Little Big House and play all sorts of random characters. Like I don't remember what pre-major tournament it was, or maybe it was an MSM when I first saw Sue's Ryu. Like you can pull him out there, try to see what's up, because you get the top player experience without the top player consequence. Meaning, I'm not going to give up a set to DeBuzz. I'm not going to give up a set to a B-lister, right? And you get to play other characters. So that's pretty much the logic behind it. And honestly, like, if there was public outcry to have these things count, like, yes, of course, there have been MSMs that are probably objectively harder than this upcoming Thunder Gaming 81-person A tier. But we set these standards at the beginning. It's PGR based or it's entrant based. Higher the two scores it. And this is going to be a very stacked invitational. Like, you don't walk into TG3 or TGS3 like with the points in your hand just for going. Like, you're going to have to get through. I don't even know who they invited. They invited your boy from Australia. We got everybody that was invited for the player incentive to just auto invite. So we have half of the world coming. I don't even know. But in any case, like, it's all relative. I'm done. I think that'll cover it though. Any final things? Anyone jump out at you, Kony? Because we're gonna close now. It's an hour 20.
No, I think that's it. I think the question's sort of
I see one sneaking in here from Ace Supernova 369 Panda Global. Should we have a player union? Yeah, it's called Twitter.com.
To do what?
I see where this is going, but it's also like, if you understood how much power players have right now,
yeah,
like high key, real talk, like how much power players have right now in determining the trajectory of this scene is so comical.
What do you mean by that? Like, okay, Big House sucked, so we're not going to do Big House next year.
Oh, it's turning the narratives. It's turning all sorts of things when it comes to like a character being released, when it comes to the meta being analyzed, when it comes to supporting this event, when it comes to not supporting that event, when it comes to supporting this personality, not this personality. Like, they can sway the narrative pretty hard. Like, and we see it every day. For the most part, it's pretty tempered because social norms keep it from people being too scummy. But at the same time, if like players like wanted to say something about anything, they can, and mostly without consequence. Like TOs, and this is something that Esam mentioned because he blew up on Cosmos for being Cosmos during the Summit bomb. Players can honestly say whatever they want. Yes, cursing is likely not something that's included in their contract, but from anti to Leffen down to Zero up to DeBuzz, Nairo, everybody, like, they can mostly say anything they want. However, TOs, casters, asterisk, people like me, community leaders, etc., like, they cannot say anything they want. We're held to a different standard, for better or worse, and it changes the narrative when it comes to like Leffen yelling on Twitter to like, shut up, you're an idiot. Like, we that just doesn't, there's no reality where like Coney gets to say that. Well, I think Coney has said that.
Well, so that's kind of funny. I don't mean to divert the topic, but I said I put in a tweet today. I was like, I was actually at this exact crossroads because I put out a tweet today and I was like, okay, maybe I'm poking the bear, but why do we think we deserve Nintendo's money? And somebody tweeted at me. They were like, because the gist of it, and I'm sort of paraphrasing, was like, because it's the right thing to do, or because it's owed to us based on something. Let me find the exact tweet. I'm not trying to say the person's name. Let me say, because it's the right thing to do when they have significantly benefited from it.
This music right now.
So saying that they benefited from it. And I just said back, LMAO. That's all I said, because it's ridiculous to me, the idea that Nintendo has significantly benefited from us.
Oh no.
So they said that, and then I got a DM from them later, and they were like, hey, you know,
Why you say that?
Basically, but they put it in a very nice way. Like, they put it in a very, like, you commenting back, I understand that you didn't really mean much by it, but it just meant...
All you said was 4 letters, to be clear, right?
All I said was LMAO, but they said, okay, you commenting back invited a bunch of people to basically bully this guy. Everybody's now laughing at him because they see my tweet, laughing. And now everybody's jumping on him. And I get that. And he said that he was trying to present his opinion in a friendly way, which I guess he was. He wasn't trying to be, like, he's not trying to be a jerk.
I mean...
And he was like, it kind of ruined his day because now he has these idiots in his DMs and replying to him, making fun of him.
Way
and all.
to go, Coney.
And he was like, I get what you were trying to do, but you hold a lot of power and you have a high platform and a responsibility to
Coney. Have you not been on this show?
Now hold on. I hear what he's saying, and I hear it, and that's directly ties into what you say, that the Twitter platforms that we carry have a lot of power, and like me replying to one guy, which is supposed to just be me, Coney, Zach, becomes a litany of people with less than 50 followers blowing this guy up. I get that I have that kind of power, but I'm going to be honest, I don't care. Like, I'm not...
wow, way to just throw this whole show under the bus.
I reject this future where I am a figurehead. I reject this idea that I have to be this poster boy for the community. I am not. I am a guy that talks about the game, and I like talking shit, and I'm just one dude. I'm shit posting. I'm an anonymous you know what I mean? I am just a guy. So I get where this person is coming from, and I think that that's sort of the direction that things are going. I don't care. Like, I don't feel responsible for other people having a bad day or for getting their feelings hurt. Like,
damn.
I'm going to be honest with you. And
don't
he's
meet
totally
your heroes,
nice.
guys.
This guy, no, listen, this guy was
don't meet your heroes.
Nice. This guy was super nice. He was very nice. He put it very
decimated this
kindly.
man.
He was a really nice guy, but I don't think I should feel responsible for that. That's all I'm saying.
How did we get here? You're like a horrible person.
But no, I get that I'm not just a guy in the community, but I am just a guy, and I think that putting these people on pedestals, I think putting all of us on pedestals and treating us like we're gods and figureheads and like we hold a sense of influence, I think is directly antithetical to where we should be going. Because that's the whole God worship thing that we have going on right now.
Of course, but again, tying back to player unions, LOL, and players having so much power, like what you're saying, like you're chaotic evil or good or whatever.
I'm chaotic something.
You're chaotic.
We're neutral, dude. I don't care.
Sure, but you gotta tinge if you truly didn't. Yeah, but you also you're chaotic neutral. I think you're truly chaotic neutral. But you and like for so many other people, like aspiring TOs, like etc. Like people can't. I can't. Bear can't. Champ can't. Well, Champ honestly probably could. Many people can't say the same things players say. It's just how it is. It's like.
Right. Yep.
It's like people expect certain people to be adults and other people not to be. So
yes,
it's kind of difficult within that realm to like think about this whole like player union idea because like I don't know, like to raise what. Also, who's gonna pay dues? Anyways, we're done here. This is it. See, we open up the Q&A and this happens.
One more thing. Last
thing,
I promise. So, Zero quote tweeted me. And like basically like said something about because I said why should being a competitive Smash player be a career? I don't see why that should be the case. It could be the case and it'd be great, but why do we deserve that? And he said, his whole spiel, which I get what he's saying. It would be nice, but it's very Pollyannic in my eyes. And then somebody DM'd me and they said, "Shut up, bitch." I'm like, get a haircut, you dork. Like, we're just going back and forth. Because he doesn't expect me to say anything back. And I left it at that, and we could have gone back and forth. But he thinks he can say that to me because I should be above that, right? Like, sometimes I'll get DMs like that, and I'll just go back and forth with this guy. But if I say something that's cancelable, he can screenshot that and go on Twitter.
Exactly.
But if he does it to me, I can't do anything. I'm just saying, just so you guys know, we get that, and I will respond if I get that, because do you see this house I have behind me? I don't give... Some people said that to me. They're like, oh, well, you wouldn't have a job if these players didn't... You wouldn't have a job if the community didn't exist. I literally have a job because the community isn't sustainable. Are you kidding me? So many people were like, oh, well, you wouldn't be able to do commentary if the Smash community wasn't here. I would do something else. I would rock climb. I would go skydiving. I would go Rocky Mountain hiking. I would ride bulls. I would do something. You know what I mean? Like, I hate this idea that Smash is the only thing. I love Smash. I love the community. But good God, these people really want it to be a life. These 18 and 19-year-olds, your brain isn't fully formed. Please just hold off a little bit. Make some decisions.
I love the new gen player losing at a major and then just like unable to cope on Twitter. It's like the toolkits are so limited. Dude. Everything is just so like, oh my God, it's so like.
Why do I do this? I'm just gonna deep out of life is, dude. It's one tournament. It's fine.
It's, like, you know what the funniest part of today is, and this will be the final thing. Icons made a comeback.
Hell yeah, dude! Icons is back. Icons, baby. Icons at Smash. Let's get it.
And waveform in there. Is it even, what is, isn't it wave dash? Whoops. Yeah. Wave dash in there. No, not that. Isn't it? Yeah, we wave. How are they verified? How does this happen? Wave dash in their celebratory tweet actually had a typo. Taps Mike, hello, is this thing still on? I found something and it says it's not supposed to be a contraction, but it's not. It's definitely for you. I don't know what this is about. But Icons is back, so that means that Kony is back into the big esports money. We're gonna close the show. And we're going to thank Kony for joining us on this hour-and-a-half long 40th episode Cash Money edition.
I apologize. I'm sorry for taking up so much of your guys' time. You specifically, because I know I showed up late and I talked a lot.
No, it's perfect. Don't change. Hags. Okay. Hags. Have a great summer. Don't ever change. Final word, Kony.
Thank you guys for tuning in. I get that the way that I feel is not the way that a lot of other people... I don't want to say I'm old school.
Can you manage the PG stats account during PGR season?
No, as you don't want me to. Here's the thing. Listen, I am a very... So people have this like perception of me that I'm just like boy next door nice guy, right?
Who?
I'm not...
Who?
I was talking with people about this.
You're not Locus. Who?
Some people said that. I was talking with people at Big House and they're like, oh, Kony's so nice. Kony's such a nice guy. Here's the thing. I have very low empathy. Like, period. It's a problem that I have. And I hate it when people are just like, well, I'm just old school. I'm an OG. That doesn't mean you shouldn't change, because that's stupid. That the idea that the times don't change because you yourself are stuck in your ways. I'm not that guy, just to be clear. I personally have pretty low empathy, and it's something that I try to work on. It's just how I'm wired.
So you're a trash person. Okay, cool. What's up?
So I'm a trash person. I'm not a role model, and I am not particularly a nice guy. But I want you guys to know that I can be swayed, I can change. I know when I've made mistakes, and this is just how I feel right now in this moment. I'm not saying it's the right thing.
Damn, are you about to be canceled? What's happening?
Dude's well, somebody said that. They're like, you should be canceled for this opinion. Some guy with 7 followers. Some guy with 7 followers told me I should be canceled because I said I didn't think Smash competitive player deserved to be a career. You deserve to be canceled for this. Okay, buddy. Listen, I'm just one guy. Let's not keep...
Listen here, Sean. You sit down.
Let's not keep acting like opinions are more than they are. I'm just one dude with one opinion. Please take it for what it is. I'm stupid sometimes, and I'm very often wrong. But I'm a jerk.
Yes.
I am a jerk. And if you feel that way, you are totally in.
I'm gonna share over to you the credentials on TweetDeck for the PG Stats account, so you can get ready and draft tweets for the season. But in any case, thank you, Kony. We can find you at Kony, not Comey, but Kony.
Dude, I still get that every day. Every day I get that. seriously. I really do.
Oh
yeah, and I am going to Summit. I was trying to keep that under wraps. I am going to Summit. Woohoo!
Hey, Summit. Yeah, actually, there's the Summit listing, which if next week, when is Summit? The 18th? Not this weekend, but the next one?
Not next weekend, but the one after. So it's Thunder, then Smashville? Is that when it's happening? Nightmare on Smashville?
Then the 26th.
Yeah, it has to be. And then it's the one after, yeah.
Okay, well, if you didn't see it here, I guess you're not going to because BTS's Smash feed is very full. Oh, there it is. This is a horrendous picture of you, by the way.
The picture of me at Evo? Yeah, I gave them...
What is happening here?
I don't know. They wanted a headshot, and I just... I'm not in this to be pretty. I'm not in this game to be pretty, okay? They asked for a headshot. I was like, screw it. This is from Evo. I'm not a photogenic guy. I'm not particularly attractive. So you're getting that headshot. You're just getting whatever I give you.
I'm proud of everybody except for you in this picture, and I
don't give a shit.
I hate EE's comment, and you know what it is, and I'm gonna say I hate EE's comment as to what you look like in this makes That's just.
You know what's funny? You know what's fun? I shouldn't be saying this. I was gonna tweet back, like, I'm sure there's a picture of me being in power somewhere on the internet, but I shouldn't post it. I'll get banned. Oh my God, Coney with the white so I didn't post that.
Dude.
Instead, I posted the Mad Real World Dave Chappelle, and that was pretty good. So anyway.
Love Kitaro's smile. That's a golden. All right, so Summit is coming up. That's just a quick shout out to that. But in any case, you can find Coney at Coney on Twitter.
Yes, please.
On Twitch, he's also Coney, right?
Yeah, I'm both. I'm very lucky.
Cool. All right, we'll get out. We don't want you anymore. Thank you.
Bye, guys. Goodbye.
All right, so that was Coney. That was the show. Episode 40 ended with an hour 40 almost. I have to teach tomorrow, and I'm very tired. So thank you for everybody for coming. This is actually really funny. Everyone who gives us questions, you give us life. And anyone who shoots a question twice because we didn't see it, listen, it's a live chat. All right, it's basically like sheets of paper blowing in the wind. If we don't see it, it's not personal. And if it is personal, I wouldn't admit it on air. So just be positive. In any case, episode 41 comes to us next week. Thunder Gaming Smash. Thunder Smash Gaming? Clash of the Pandas this weekend. We'll see what happens. An 81-person A tier who sees a lot. You know, we're going to see a lot of activity there and potentially upsets. Who knows? Somebody from Australia might win the whole thing. I don't know. Smash is weird right now. It's moving too fast. But in any case, if you enjoyed this episode of Smash Center, make sure to leave a comment below on the YouTube page so you can tell us why you loved this episode or hated it just the same. In any case, Spotify, iTunes, NPR Radio, LiveJournal, LiveZanga, any of your popular social media sites you can find us on. And the podcast sites especially, we are on Spotify and iTunes. I'm not lying. The other ones I made up. But you can listen to us there on the go so you can get the latest episodes of Smash Center. And, you know, since you're going to be listening, you're not going to be seeing these ugly faces. And you'll be able to enjoy it that way. So, in any case, thank you as always. Please tell someone you love them. You never know what happens when it's going to happen. And also 3 months left in this decade. People born in the year 2000 are going to be 10 years old. Wait, 20 years old. Wow. 20 years old. That's crazy to me. In any case, we'll see you. I love you all. And have a good time this weekend because we all will be. See you then.